Madam, it's not audible. Madam Angel, madam.
Prakash sir, I think Madam
Madam,
is listening, sir.
The department offers a full-time BE degree program in computer science and engineering. The department has well-qualified, experienced faculty members to keep students fine-tuned and for the requirement of the ever-changing world of IT industry. The department is well equipped with resources, laboratories, and the potential skills of the students are improved by encouraging them to participate in various contests. The department has signed MOU with IBM, Microsoft, Dell Mitra, Red Hat Academy, Infosys, and Oracle. The department is also accredited by FDP. Blockchain is the backbone technology of digital cryptocurrency Bitcoin. The blockchain is a distributed database of records of all transactions or digital events that have been executed and shared among participating parties. Each transaction verified by the majority of participants of the system. It contains every single record of each transaction. Bitcoin is the most popular cryptocurrency and example of the blockchain. Blockchain technology records transaction in digital ledger, which is distributed over the network, thus making it incorruptible. Anything Anything of value like land assets, cars, etc. can be recorded on blockchain as a transaction. It's a simple analogy of understanding blockchain technology is a Google Doc. And we create a document and share it with a group of people. The document is distributed instead of copied or transferred. This creates a decentralized distribution chain that gives everyone access to the document at the same time. No one is locked out, awaiting changes from any other party, while all modifications to the document are being recorded in real time, making changes completely transparent. Blockchain consists three important concepts: blocks, nodes, and miners. Blockchain has nearly endless amount of applications across almost every industry. The ledger technology can be applied to track fraud in finance, securely share patient medical records between healthcare professionals, and even access a better way to track intellectual property in business and music rights for artists. The above objective of FDP is to introduce fundamentals of blockchain and implementation of blockchain technology with their real-time applications. FDP course will cover complete understanding of blockchain concepts with a theory and hands-on session. We cover blockchain case studies also. I wish this FDP to be successful and reach its goals as mentioned. Once again, I extend my hearty welcome to the participants from various institutions for this function. Thank you, one and all here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Once again, we are welcome all the participants for this 5 days ATAL on blockchain technology. Now, I would like to invite Dr. M. Prakash, Professor CSE, to introduce the chief guest.
Good morning to one and all. Today's chief guest is Dr. N. Bhalaji, is serving in academia for more than 17 years. He received his degree BE and ME both in the discipline of computer science and engineering, and a PhD specialization in trust-based routing approach for MANET from Anna University, Chennai. His current research interest includes application of trust over information and communication domains, namely Internet of Things and blockchain technologies. He is also an enthusiastic learner of machine learning algorithm and its application over computer networks. He is a recognized supervisor of Anna University. 4 scholars have completed their bio-voice and 2 submitted their thesis, and 4 are pursuing. He also serving as a doctoral committee member for Anna University, PIT, SRM, Satyabama University, and also serving as a member of Board of Studies in SRM, William Engineering College, and School of Engineering, Wales University, Chennai. He is a recognized procurator of CompTIA examination. He is actively involved in industry consultancy project, namely HDL, Tech B, Blue Lotus Technologies, and Reddington CSR. He is a member of professional societies such as ACM, IEEE, IACSIT, and IAENG. He is acting as a faculty coordinator for online internship of SSN students. He has published 15 articles in SCAE indexed journal and more than 13 Scopus indexed journals. To his credit, he has more than 10 online certification in the vertical of Internet of Things, blockchain, and machine learning. He is also a certified blockchain associate from Kerala Blockchain Academy, IIITKM, and certified secure computer users from EC Council. I would request to welcome Dr. N. Bhalaji to take this session.
Thank you, Prakash. One thing what Dr. Prakash missed out is we are friends for more than 15 years. So thanks to that note, and I thank HOD Madam, Karpagam College of Engineering, for giving me this opportunity. And say, in one way, if I want to introduce myself, I'm an active learner. That's it. Other credentials, I hope if we all stay in academia for more than 10 years, I hope all of us will gather such kind of credentials. So it's nothing surprise. I'm not an, I don't think that I have done something very special. I'm a very ordinary person with a lot of enthusiasm to learn new things. That's it. That's my introduction. So coming to the crux, today I'm going to give you a beginner level exposure to blockchain technology. So please don't expect me to teach you or tutor you to script a journal paper at the end of a session. Let me be very clear. I'll be giving you a basic introduction about what is blockchain technology. That's it. So with that note, I'm getting into the presentation. I'll show you some demos. Today, I may not be, since this is the first session, I may not go to the level of giving you a hands-on, but I hope that organizers would have arranged a lot of hands-on sessions for you. But today my duty will be to take you to the world of blockchain and expose you what is it, so that it will help you to smoothly learn the advanced topics which are lined up in the session. I hope you are all able to see my screen. Yeah, if my kind request is, wherever you possess any doubt, please unmute yourself and you can interrupt me. It's not a typical classroom session where you have to wait until the end of the session. You can always stop me. Please do be comfortable, and let's jointly explore what is blockchain. So this will be the preview of my lecture. I'll be talking about second era of internet, what is blockchain, understanding the SHA algorithm, what is distributed ledger and immutability, how it is linked, what is the specialty of distributed P2P network in blockchain based networks, what is the necessity, why should we have a consensus algorithm, and what are the places where blockchain is already existing. Intro. I formally welcome you of blockchain, which is a trending buzzword making news in all corners. I think ma'am also highlighted it. It is a trending buzzword which is making impact on all areas of technology. Now, these questions may gallop in your brain, like, is it a technology, culture, or a process change? How blockchain is able to achieve things quite faster. It's again a typical contradictory point. I'll come to it. I'll nail it later. How is cryptocurrency or Bitcoin linked to blockchain? See, we have been hearing this. Bitcoin and blockchain are interchangeably used. I'll try to give you a note. What is the Bitcoin, how it is related to blockchain, and vice versa. Application of blockchain in research. Yes, at the end of the day, we are all faculty members. We have to look after our bread and butter. We have to work for our bread also. So in that aspect, I'll also throw some very lighter vein on application of blockchain in research. So we will try to find questions. I have posted up a lot of questions here, and we will try to explore the answer during this session. Some quick fact. Recently, Walmart was able to reduce food tracing process from 6 days to just 2 seconds by leveraging blockchain. This is one of the proven use case. You all know Walmart is the biggest supply chain market, or biggest I mean, I would, if I want to say it in a colloquial term, he is the biggest supermarket owner in the world, one of the top 10 richest person. So they were able to reduce the food tracing process from 6 days to, just imagine, 6 days. Where is 6 days and where is 2 seconds? If I don't mention this in days, per day consists of 24 hours. 6 into 24 hours, again break it down to seconds, it will be negligible. So we are able to trace a product within a negligible time. That is what I said, we can achieve things faster. Okay, blockchain is expected to disrupt the banking and financial industry soon. There are evidences that it has already started disrupting them. Expert claims bank could save 8 to 12 billion annually by leveraging blockchain technology. And again, this statement is also a contradictory statement, because in blockchain technology, particularly when we are going to talk about cryptocurrency, we will be talking about no banking system. That is, we are going to find a way where we can eradicate the bank in the financial transactions. We will come to it later. And these are all some more facts. You all know Gartner. Being an IT and CSE professional, we can always rely on Gartner survey reports for any technological information. You can Google it and see. Gartner survey would have, those surveys would have been a good input for understanding what are the languages dominating in the current scenario, what are the other technologies which will dominate the world in the forthcoming years, and so on. Such kind of information you can always extract from Gartner survey. Welcome to the early movers. So see, the successors, if you look at the people who have succeeded in their life, all of them have been early movers. You should not wait for the technology to prosper. You should attack the technology in its early stage, so that you can become, you can make yourself comfortable in the technology, so that you can also travel along with the technology, and you can have a lot of benefits reaped out of it. So blockchain is one of the most fancied and celebrated technology in today's digital world, of course. And however, according to Stanford Social Innovation Review 2018, only 0.5% of the global population understands what exactly the blockchain technology is and how it is disrupting various business domains. So probably today it would have been increased to 1%, most probably. Now, by deciding to participate in this blockchain FDP, you are becoming a part, either as a part of this 1%, or you are going to increase this 1% of the global population who understands blockchain technology. So on that note, I welcome you. This technology is estimated to be in a state what internet was in the early 90s. Again, this is a very, very common comparison. Always there has been a comparison made between blockchain technology and internet. I have a slide I'll show there. It needs own time to mature and get acceptance. Yes, this is applicable for any technology. This point is applicable for any technology, for say cloud, analytics, social, machine learnings, any technology. You say any technology, digital twins, any big data analytics, any technology has to mature and it has to get the global acceptance. So we have to wait for it. I won't say that blockchain has got acceptance, but it is closer to get acceptance. However, the early movers will have a definite advantage in this process. So that's what I said. I congratulate you. And again, if you see this is a, particular slide, in case if you are giving a talk on IoT, you can make this IoT as a central part. If you are giving a talk on big data, you can make this as a central part, because it doesn't make any difference. We have to understand one historical evolution. From 1960s or even from 1950s, all the technologies, the evolution of technologies were actually differentiated, or it followed the policy of differentiation. If you see, hardware was different. Hardware and software were evolving separately. The companies who were involved in the hardware were not dealing with software, and the companies who were concentrating on the software they didn't bother about the hardware. This was a scenario in 1970s, even till 70s and 80s. But after 80s, it all slowly changed. The ideal example is and now when we talk about this industry 4.0, see, already industries are claiming that they are touching the 5.0, but still industry 4.0 is all about integration. This paradigm shift we should understand. Earlier it was all differentiation.
நான் இந்த லிங்க் உங்களுக்கு நான் ஃபார்வர்ட் பண்றேன்.
Excuse me, participants, can you mute yourself? Okay, so industry 4.0 talks about
last exam இருக்குன்னு நினைக்கிறேன்.
So participants, please mute your mic. Participants, please.
Thank you. So industry 4.0 is all about integration. You cannot think of applying Internet of Things without the help of big data. Am I right? At the end of IoT, you end up in getting data. So what are you going to do with data? Definitely you have to apply learning algorithms. How are you going to collect data through IoT? You'll be either depending on social web or depending on mobiles, right? It's quite common. Where are we going to store this big data? We are going to rely on the cloud. The other way of collecting data and controlling the data is nothing but drones. Drones also feed to the big data, and again those data will be processed by machine learning and so on. So what I'm trying to state here is this industry 4.0 and even 5.0, it's all about integration. You cannot imagine a technology without using or depending on other technology. When I talk about cloud is a wonderful resource, right? Wonderful technology. But if data are not generated, what am I going to do with the cloud? Okay, fine. If data are generated, okay, data are generated and I have dumped them in the cloud. If I don't have the processing algorithm, what am I going to do with the data? So that is what I'm trying to claim again. This new era of technologies are closely integrating themselves. Okay. If you want to do search in literature, you can search this BCIOT. That is blockchain, cloud, Internet of Things. This is already there. Okay, you can see a lot of papers in that area. Is it a hype? Again, we have seen a lot of technologies came with a huge hype and they diminished slowly. Even you take the cloud computing. I won't say cloud computing has diminished, but with respect to academia and with respect to research, cloud computing is very, very hard affair, right? Today, it's all being taken over by Google's and Microsoft. Am I right? Google and Microsoft are the huge cloud providers across the globe, or even Amazon, AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, GC, and Amazon AWS. So they are all the big players. So they have gone out of the common man, so it's very hard for us to propose some areas or some research problems in cloud. For example, I'm saying, so will blockchain be also in the same category? Don't know. We have to wait and see. You can see here, this I'll talk about Internet of Information. From there, we are moving to Internet of Content. And from there, our ultimate aim is to move to the Internet of Value. I'll say what is Internet of Value. Why blockchain? Okay. Being there is a technology, so we need to learn. That is quite common aspect. That's how I learned. I was not expecting anything out of it. My elevation to blockchain was very natural because you would have heard in my intro that they mentioned about trust. Trust was my area. So from trust in network, I slowly moved on to IoT. And when I was exploring trust, I came across this blockchain technology. Blockchain technology is tipped to be again a trust-based approach, instilling a trust in a non-trusted or unknown entities. That is the specialty of this blockchain. How can we instill a trust among unknown entities? That is the beauty of this blockchain. That is what attracted me personally towards this blockchain. Okay, that's personal interest. But as a researcher, as a job seeker, why should one study about this blockchain? You can see, I have not rated this. I have taken it from only the newspaper cutting. So this blockchain developer is also one of the, I won't say that blockchain developer is, this is not in any hierarchy. This doesn't have any order. So you can also see lead generation specialist also has a value. So blockchain developer jobs are also increasing in the market. And I'll also say what makes you as a good blockchain developer. What are the skills you should know? That is different. That is altogether different. But you need to possess a basic knowledge of blockchain if you want to really dive into the area of blockchain. Internet of information. This is what we have been classically seeing in our internet, right? See, what do we do in our traditional internet? Internet is by the people, for the people, and from the people. I hope you all will understand. I mean, accept this. Internet is by the people, it's for the people, and it's from the people. Yes. Okay. What do we do basically in Internet of Information? This is the first era of Internet. We technically call this as a first era of Internet. What do we do here is we share the information. For example, I share my photo, I share website, I share a PDF file, I share a doc. Okay. The underlying concept, what you have to recall here is, whenever you are sharing information, you are retaining the original copy. You are retaining the original copy. Am I right? Am I right or wrong? Are we not retaining the original copy? I am only sharing the duplicate copy. Am I right? I am just sharing the duplicate one. Still the original is with me. Remember this point. We are retaining the original copy and sharing only the duplicate, or however you call duplicate copy. Okay. I'm not sharing the, see, if I share my photo, it doesn't mean that I cannot, I need not to possess my photo. Yes, still I can have a copy and I can share it with my friends. When I post a photo in Facebook, it doesn't mean that only Facebook will have that photo. No, I can also have the source copy with me. This is applicable for anything, right? Email, sending an email. When I send an email, I can also retrieve back, or I can also look back in the sent mails, PPT slides, and so on. This is the phenomena what is basically followed in Internet of Information. Please remember that is called first era of Internet. Where are we moving is, we are moving towards the Internet of Value. So from Internet of Information, we are moving to Internet of Value. What is this Internet of Value? You can see here, here we are talking about identity, contracts, vote, other financial assets, art, money, intellectual property. These are all the things which we are talking here. We are not talking about PDF slides. We are not talking about photos. Here we are talking about valuable things. What are those valuable things? You can see here, the list is there. Money, IPR, contracts, financial assets, your voting, your art, energy, identity, even your identity, and so on. Okay. What does this make? Here, you cannot follow the same principle what we followed in Internet of Information. In Internet of Information, we retain the original copy, we share only the duplicate copy. Here, most of the entities, we cannot retain the original copy. And we have to share, we share the original. I'll put it in a very simple way. For example, I'm taking this. Bhalaji wants to send 100 rupees to Prakash. How can I do this? If Bhalaji wants to send PPT to Prakash, what will I do? I'll have one copy. I'll share the copy with Prakash, right? If I want to share 100 rupees, can I do the same thing? Can I retain the 100 rupees and I can share only the duplicate copy to Prakash? Is it acceptable? Is it acceptable? 1 minute, I'll share it again. Is it acceptable? No. Thank you. I think only Mary, Sundar, okay, Ekampuram, Dilli Raj. Okay, you are all accepting it, right? You cannot transact in that way, right? Because we need to see, if I want to give him 100 rupees, I have to give him 100 rupees. I cannot say that I'll read in the original and I'll share the copy with him. It's not possible, right? So this is what it is what is all about this internet of value. Now I hope you all would have understood. This internet of value is a bit special. Okay. What do we need? Why am I talking about this second era of internet, or we call this as a second era of internet? So in the first era of internet, if you see, there were a lot of middlemen involved. Who are the middlemen? Can you say me who are the middlemen who are involved in it? Who are the middlemen involved in the first era of internet? Can you say me? In a typical first era of internet, who was the middleman involved? Data centers, okay. Big giants. You take one example, sir. How can I share? How do we share? What are the examples I listed in Internet of Information? I said about photos, email, documents. Yeah, very good. I think Shalini, Yoganand, yes, Google, email. Okay, email, who is the middleman? I want to send mail to Nitin Goyal. How can I send? Yes, Yoganand is saying Microsoft. Yes, absolutely. When I want to share a PPT, yes, I'll be sharing it through. I have to develop it through Microsoft, and I have to share it through. For example, if I'm sharing it with OneDrive, it's a Microsoft. If I am sharing it in a email, then it should be either Google or Microsoft again. A protocol, okay, you are going a bit technical. I don't want to dive to that level, Deepak Mangal. I'm restricting here in the surface level of we need middlemen, right? Okay, now we'll come to the point. Like, so this middleman, even now, even in the second era of internet, okay, now we saw about first era of internet. Even in the second era of internet, we want to share internet of value. Okay, I said about sending 100 rupees. Bhalaji is sending 100 rupees to Prakash. Okay, in this example, who is the middleman? Who is the middleman? In the second era of internet, when I want to share money with someone, who is the middleman? Bank. Yes, absolutely. Bank. Only bank. What are the other options available for financial transaction? Apart from bank, what are the other financial options available for you? Net banking. Okay, net banking also comes under bank. Come on, guys. We are money order. Are we still using? Yeah, money exchange. I accept. Money order. Are we still using it? UPI. Good. That is digital transactions. We talk about gateways. Wonderful. Gateway companies like Visa, MasterCard, or even RuPay, JustPay, Paytm. Yes, absolutely fine. So these are all the middlemen who are all still involved. And again, I'll talk about two issues here. Whenever we talk about middlemen, there is a kind of a potential threat involved. Am I right? A potential threat will be involved because we are involving a third party. That is one aspect. Second thing, what happened was the initial objective of the internet was to democratize the process. It was aimed at democratizing and reaching out to all common man. Today, you know, what are the hurdles in achieving these two policies? Today, just imagine if Google shut down their office or shut down their company, what will happen to our data? Do we have any way we can file a case against Google? Or what can we do? Can we do anything with that? Today, if, for example, I have stored all my data in Google Photos, all my photos in Google Photo. If Google says that your data is erased, that's all. You can't do anything, right? Similarly, Microsoft. Imagine you have OneDrive, you have stored all your data in OneDrive or Google Drive. They are going to shut down the company. Will you be able to claim anything? No. Or even Facebook closes their entire process. We don't have any say. Instagram closes their company. We can't do anything. So the underlying, I mean, the point what I'm trying to raise here is it is not democratized and it is instead monopolized. I won't say autocratized, monopolized. What is monopolized? I mean, again, the power has gone and deposited into a single authority. This is the danger what we are facing in second era of internet. And even the founders of internet, even the founder of www, they all now work in decentralized internet technology. Decentralized internet. So here where the blockchain comes into picture. So in the second era of internet, blockchain enable you to decentralize or remove the centralized power. Okay, we will also see this in later slides. This is where the blockchain plays a very critical role, and that's why blockchain is being accepted or embraced in the technology domain today. This is what I was talking about, second era of internet, how blockchain could play or how blockchain could be a game changer, right? It is completely poised to change the game of second era of internet. If you ask me, there are browsers like, see, for example, you can also check in Google. Again, I have to mention only Google. Brave is a search engine developed on the basis of blockchain. So nobody, Brave cannot close its operation as they like. They have to get a consensus. If 1,000 users are there, then they have a policy. They have to get consent from at least, for example, I'm saying this is not the case actually, more than 500 users, let's imagine, or more than 300 users, something. So they cannot close as they like. Steemit. This is not now currently operational, but you can also check it out in the web. Steemit was Twitter equivalent. Again, it was based on the blockchain technology. Now imagine if Google is in a decentralized way, if it is functioning in a distributed way, it cannot close down as they think. They have to get the consensus of the user. If most of the users don't give a nod for closing it down, they cannot close it down. They have to retain the data or they have to follow the policy. So this is what blockchain can do in the second era of internet. Again, I'll say how banking sector comes into this picture and how can we eradicate bank. Trust protocol was introduced by Nick Szabo, or even David Cham started it. So the trust protocol is basically installing trust among unknown entities. It's not about having trust with known entities. For example, I know someone for last 20 years, I can trust him. If I know someone for last 10 years, maybe likely I may trust him a bit lesser. It's all again subjective. If they are my, if they are my parents or if they are my relatives, I may have more trust. If they are my friends, I may have some kind of trust. If I have some other kind of things, I can have other kind of trust and so on. So like this, we can have trust depending on the relationship or depending on the years of years we know whether they are acquaintance or whether they are closer and so on. So it's a very subjective thing. But here what we are advocating is we are talking about introducing trust. For example, today 60 plus of you are in this meeting. Among us, let's imagine that we are going to create a network and we can trust each other even without knowing our names. That is the beauty of this blockchain, and this trust protocol can be implemented by using blockchain. These are all definitions of blockchain. I'm not going into it. You can see here Blockchain is continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and secured using a cryptography. See, whenever you talk about blockchain, you should remember these areas. It is nothing but amalgamation of these things. One, it has the cryptography, and it deals with distributed peer-to-peer systems. Third, distributed ledger concept. And fourth, cryptocurrency. These are all the different areas which put together comprises blockchain, right? So blockchain is not a single entity. When I say blockchain, it consists of all such things. You can see here, it has a ledger concept, that is distributed data. It has a cryptocurrency, yes, Bitcoin, Ether, Wave, Neo, lot of Bitcoins are there. Lot of digital currencies are there. And distributed P2P concept, where we will also look at consensus. I'll talk about it. And then cryptography, basically the private key, public key, hashing algorithm. And even easy digest algorithm will be used in the blockchain technology. Story about currency. See, when we talk about blockchain, it is excuse me, it is inevitable to talk about digital currencies, because digital currency, or to be very precise, Bitcoin was the one which gave the re-emergence or rebirth of blockchain. Okay, with this, I'll talk about this currency and I'll come back later. The rebirth of blockchain or the birth of blockchain was actually enhanced by introduction of Bitcoin. Okay, I'll talk. There is a story. I'll talk about it. Don't worry. So earlier, good olden days, we had a barter system. Then we tend to exchange cow shells. Then we exchanged metals. Then we exchanged gold. And finally, now we are exchanging money. This is how the currencies have evolved in a different generation. You keep that in mind. Now, prelude for blockchain. I said cryptography plays a very important role. Cryptography is not a new entity. It is there from 19,000 onwards, and you all know the role of a cryptography in World War II. In World War II, how does the cryptography played a very monumental role in failure of Germans and success of UK, United Kingdom. And Chom published, David Chom, he is David Chom. David Chom published idea of anonymous electronic money in 1983 itself. Cryptocurrency is not new. It's there for a long time, at least 30, 40 years old. And he even started a company called DigiCash in 1989 with eCash as its trademark. He started and he populated eCash. And there was, once upon a time, Microsoft was very seriously thinking of using eCash for their commercial transactions. But unfortunately, it went bankruptcy in 1998 due to non-technical support or non-technological support. The idea was good, but the technology was not supportive during that time, so he could not succeed. This is the story of David Chom and cryptocurrency in the 1980s and 90s. And we talk about another guy, Nick Szabo. Please remember his name. Whenever you study smart contract in blockchain, this smart contract, the word very smart contract was coined by Nick Szabo. He is the one who said about smart contract in the year 1996 itself. So I'm not going deep into it. Smart contract is again a very big area. It's a branch of blockchain. So Nick Szabo, what he did, he came up with a paper where he named a God protocol. God protocol is an ideal protocol, which will not do any mistake or which will be very idealistic. So though we have not achieved this ideal protocol, but we are striving hard to come up and design a protocol which could behave proper in all circumstances. Very, very important contributors for blockchain. See, they never knew that they are contributing to blockchain, because at the time blockchain was not there. In 1991, these two gentlemen, Stuart Haber and Scott Stornetta, they came up with a paper called How to Timestamp a Digital Document. It was published in Journal of Cryptology. What they did was they tried to timestamp digital document. Can you give me an example of how do we timestamp a digital document? Can you give me an example? Okay, you are asking about how will the unknown entities trust each other. Okay, I'll come back to it. Don't worry. Watermarking, yes. Watermarking is, I mean, today current scenario, digital signatures. No, I'm asking, you are saying about modalities of timestamping. I'm asking about, even you cannot call that as a timestamping. I'm asking an example of digital timestamping. How do you timestamp a digital document? Give me an example. Ahmed Zaidi, I'll come to your question later. No, you are all again talking about examples. Give me an example where in everyday usage you have a timestamp. Where do you come across that timestamp in everyday usage? Which part of your digital applications carries a timestamp? Transactions, very good. Banking transactions carry them. Attendance, Google Forms, okay, fine. Timing counter, okay, it's interesting. OTP, okay, timestamping is there, I accept. Browser sessions, okay, not for us, but at least for the moderators, they can photos clicked in your mobile phone. Yes, great. Friends, very basically, you have your emails, right? Yes, WhatsApp, fine. Email, your email carries a timestamp. Am I right? So your email carries a timestamp. Yes. So ultimately, now say me, what is the use of this timestamp? How can we leverage this usage? Okay, fine. You all listed me a lot of examples. Thank you for it. But do say me, what is the usage? What we try to achieve in this digital timestamp? Ensure the date of message, of course. In what way it is used? What is the purpose of it? Okay, when that will be useful? Non-repudiation, okay, fine. Very basically, is it not a evidence? Yes, for audit, okay. Audit is also high level. It is meant for verification, okay, accepted. It stands as a evidence. Am I right? Even you know, a lot of court trials now depends on CCTV camera footage. The time stamping of CCTV camera footage plays a very vital role in criminal investigations. Am I right? Because the judgments could tilted based on the witness what we are going to produce. If someone has crossed that particular area at a particular time, if the time varies, then he could be convicted. Or if the time indicates that he has crossed that area even before the crime has occurred, he is found not guilty. So to such extent, a criminal case can be investigated very comfortably by using this digital timestamping phenomena. So again, this question is to make you understand what is the importance of timestamping. Don't worry, you may again ask me what is the relevance to it in the blockchain. I'll come to it. Don't worry. All your answers will be answered. And I think someone was asking about how we create a trust. I'll talk about it. Don't worry. The birth of Bitcoin. I'll share it in a very short way. This paper was released technically in the year, this was a white paper in 2008. Okay, the specialty of this paper, this was written by Satoshi Nakamoto. Till today, no one knows who is this Satoshi Nakamoto. That's why I have given this picture. Nobody knows who is Satoshi Nakamoto. That is a different story altogether. You can Google it and read. NSA, National Security Agency of US, they are behind. They are tracking who is this Satoshi Nakamoto, and they have even claimed that they have found who is it or him or them. We don't know whether it is a male, female, group of people or automated one. We don't know. But again, this paper came in 2008. It made a huge impact in the Western society simply because 2008 coincide with another important historical event. In West, there was a huge economic recession during 2008. Please remember, I'm talking about US scenario, economic recession. People like us, in my generation, you would have heard about this. There was a huge job loss in India during 2008. The first job loss or the first job cuts we faced were in 2001 and 2 due to Twin Tower clash. But even when comparing with 2001 and 2, 2008 was the year which marked huge job cuts in Indian market because there was a huge economic recession in West, particularly in US. So what was the cause of it? People were they were running out of money, and they didn't have enough money to pay back their loans. What happened was almost all the banks in US were going bankruptcy. So what they did was, for example, let's take a typical example. I'll take this example. John has acquired a loan from Bank A. He has taken a home loan. Let's imagine home loan. He has not repaid it. What will happen now? What will happen? What will happen to bank in case if some defaulter is there? What happens in Indian typical scenario if they don't repay their loan? What will happen? What will be the immediate action of the bank? Bad debit, it's fine. What action will they take? What action will they take? Legal action, very good. What kind of legal action? Okay, seized, very good. What they try to do, they will not immediately go to the seize. They will go for auction, or they will give a notice, as you people said. They will advertise that so and so person is a defaulter, and they are going to auction his property, and they are going to take the money by selling the property or by bringing the property to the auction. This is quite normal. This is ethical. We can understand this. But what happened during the 2008 was, if John has not repaid his home loan, the bank can take, or the bank can mortgage the property for which he has acquired the loan. But instead, the bank started taking those properties for which he has not, or the properties which he has not mortgaged in the bank. For example, if John has not repaid his home loan, the bank would also take his car, or the bank would also take his another property which he has not bodged in the, or which he has not mortgaged in the bank. So this created a huge wave, or it created a huge dissatisfaction among the people during that particular time, and they were all mostly like somewhat hesitant or somewhat against the banking concepts. Okay, it may be very surprised, but that's what happened during that time. So what happened was, that was the period where people slowly lost, or they lost their faith in bank. I'm talking about only that scenario. And even today, the banks are not transparent, right? Even our banks are not transparent. I mean, when I say this, I never mean to say that banks are not reliable, or I'm not talking anything against bank. I do have all loans in bank. But what I'm trying to point here is, when you deposit a money in bank, even though you are the owner of that money, you don't have any privilege to know where they reinvest that money. They will be giving you only the interest. Let's imagine you are depositing in a form of a fixed deposit. They will give you only interest. They will never reveal you where they are further investing the money. So this is the system in which the bank actually works. So transparency was lacking. And you know the scenario, I said that banks exceeded their promise, and they started taking mortgage of property which were not supposed, or which were not for which the user have not taken the loan. So this is the scenario. So this was the scenario where people lost their faith in bank, and they were really agitated towards bank. Imagine that scenario. I'll come back to this. This slide is nothing but it talks about internet and blockchain. Say how internet could be mapped with blockchain. And this slide also I'll come back. So this is what I'm talking about. In 2008 and 7 and 8, the financial crisis went up to the tune of $11 trillion. So that's where people lost their faith in bank, and they started looking at this Bitcoin white paper, which talked about, for the first ever time in the world, it talked about no banking system. Why should we need a bank? When I want to transfer money from one place to one person to another person, why should I have a bank? Why can't we do it directly? That is what this paper was preaching, and people slowly started looking at it as a potential candidate in place of bank. Remember this story? I'll come back again. So this is how we map blockchain and internet. They say what internet did to text. The internet has completely changed the way in which we text, right? We are all in the WhatsApp era. We write blogs, even we write books. We need not to wait for any publisher. We store images in the Insta, Google Photo, and so on. Programs, GitHubs, other places. Video, you all know YouTube. Tomorrow they say the next generation university will be a YouTube university. So similarly, blockchain will change the way in which we transact money. It will change the way in which we negotiate contracts. It will change the way in which we store the patent. It will change the way in which we track the assets. This is what is supposed to be. Let's wait and see. And this is very, very important slide. Please keep it in mind. Where do we need to use blockchain? You cannot use blockchain because it is a technology available. Whenever you feel there is a fraudulent activity involved in the application, you can think of using blockchain. Whenever you feel there is a middleman or intermediaries in your project or in the application, you can think of using blockchain. Whenever you want the number of transactions to be not always higher, excepting cryptocurrency, because in cryptocurrency the throughput will not be high. That's why cryptocurrencies have not become so popular. And wherever you want stable data, these are all the places where you can think of using blockchain. So since blockchain is there, you should not use everywhere. And this is what I said. The other concepts are why we go for blockchain is they have high transaction fee. Banks have high transaction fee. Banks started taking mortgage of property. This is what I said. And now we are coming to a traditional transaction. How a traditional transaction takes place. You can see a simple example here. Bob wants to buy a cake from Alice Bakery and he needs to pay Alice in advance. That's normal. Or otherwise he can pay after getting the product or after getting the cake if they are known to each other earlier. Alice will send the goods to Bob once she has received the money, or a proper proof that she will receive it. Okay, if he is already a customer, if she believes, then she may send the person while delivering the cake also. She can pay on delivery something. So that can be possible. So two-way, either paying upfront or paying after getting the product. How a traditional transaction flow happens. Now imagine now Alice wants to pay. Let's take a West example first. He is going to pay it through PayPal. So this PayPal is the first intermediary. Now PayPal queries Bob's Visa. So Visa is the second intermediary. Now Visa inquires Bob's bank. Bank itself is the third intermediary. You all know we are talking about eradicating the intermediaries. So now after this, Bob bank clears the amount. Now Alice bank receives the amount. So Alice bank is the fourth intermediary. Now PayPal confirm is fifth and PayPal notifies Alice. So in this example, we have seen 5 intermediaries or 5 middlemen. Okay, you may be asking me, why should we have this PayPal? Even if we take out this PayPal, what happens? Still, if he is doing a digital transaction, there will be a gateway. So this will be 1, Bob's bank will be 2, Alice bank will be 3. Still, even there will be 3 intermediaries after removal of PayPal. Right. So do you think that can we use blockchain here? Yes or no? Do you really think that can we have to use blockchain here or not? What is your say? Do we need to use blockchain or not? What is the justification? Yes. Okay. So what is the justification? Why should we use blockchain? Very good. Yeah, Sangeeta Murugan, she has given me the answer. Yes, Arnav Sriram, thank you. Thank you, Nitin Goyal. So, thank you. Fees, correct. So the basic reason is we just now saw the slide. Wherever you have intermediary, wherever you feel like you want to eliminate them, we can think of using blockchain. Okay, now how does the blockchain works? Here where we are technically jumping into blockchain. Bob wants to send money to allies over a blockchain network. Imagine this is a blockchain network. How does the transaction takes place? Please follow me. If you are already aware of, no problem. Otherwise, please follow me. First step, Bob wants to send money to allies. That is the first step. So that is the initiation. He is going to, that transaction, the Bob wants to send money to allies will be stored in the form of a transaction, is represented online as a block. So this block is the one which says that Bob wants to send money to allies. This is second step. Third step, every block is broadcast to every party on the network. So now we will be broadcasting this block to all party. Let's imagine 60 parties are there, 60 nodes are there in the network. All those 60 nodes will receive this block. Right? That is third step. Fourth, those in the network will approve the validity of the transaction. See, this approval of or approving or validity of the transaction can be done by anybody. We can fix the rule upfront. We can say only two of them should do, only the event coordinator can do, or the presenter can do. I'm just saying for an example, or some person, we can assign some people, or we can also say 30% should approve this validity or approve the transaction. So that completely resides on the people who are participating in it. Now someone has to approve this. What are they going to approve? They are going to approve the transaction where Bob is sending money to allies. Now, after validation, if it is validated, if it is found to be true, or if it is found to be right, the fifth step, after validation, the block is added to the chain. So this block now is added to the chain. It will be added here where Bob has sent money to allies. Finally, allies receives her money from Bob. Okay, I stop here. I'll be waiting for your questions. Are you all clear here? If you understand this, the job is done. You have understood almost the basic concept of blockchain technology. Any doubts here? Are you all clear? I hope if you have a doubt, you can also unmute and ask. It's not a problem. Yes, any doubt? No doubt. Okay. So I hope you are all clear. I'll again continue. Meanwhile, if you have any doubt, you stop me. So this is the process which we are going to follow in blockchain. See, you have to understand one important point here. What are the things we have eliminated here? Have we eliminated the gateway companies? Point 3 and 4. What is that point 3 and 4 you are talking about? So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, every block is broadcast to every party on the network. For example, all of us are forming a blockchain network. Let's assume that all of us who are in this meeting, we are forming a blockchain network. So whenever a block is created, anybody in the network can create a block and they can add that block to the blockchain. Okay, so they have a right to add the block to the blockchain, but before adding the block to the blockchain, someone needs to validate that. That is what I said. For our example, we can say that only the presenter has to approve the validation, or I can appoint Prakash has to approve it, or I can say that HOD madam has to approve it. Similarly, we can fix the rule. Or we should say that a block will be accepted only when 30 people from the team should accept that. Similarly, that varies depending on the blockchain network. So fourth point, those in the network, see, the people who are in the network have to approve that. That is what we call it as a validation. Have I cleared your doubt? Yeah, Nitin Goyal, if you can unmute and ask, it will be helpful for me. If you are still not clear. Yeah, clear. Fine. No problem. So that again, see, I'm giving you only a surface level understanding. Don't worry, I'll go deep. Once I go deep, you'll understand. But this is how any blockchain is actually formed. Well, you take any running blockchain, it is how it is formed. Okay, now I'll go further. This slide, I'm leaving it to you. Again, it talks about very descriptive manner how a blockchain transaction flow is happening. This is step by step. You can see here, user request for a transaction. A block representing the transaction is created. A block is broadcasted to all nodes of the network. All the nodes validate the block, and transaction block is added to the chain. The transaction gets verified and executed. That's all. What is a block? Okay, I have been talking about a block for a long time. What is a block actually? A block is an entity which will majorly consist of these items. Data, it consists of more items. I'll show you a real block and you will understand what are the constituents of the block. But right now, to start with, it should basically consist of a data, previous hash, and hash value. Clear? It consists of a data, it consists of a previous hash, and it consists of the hash. How this hash value is calculated? This hash value is the current hash value of this block. Okay, we call it as C hash. Okay, how this is calculated? See, the current hash is calculated in this way. The current hash means the current hash value of the block. What is the input for it? The input given for that will be data and the previous hash. These two will be fed as an input to this current hash generating algorithm, and it will generate a hash value, a random hash value. That is the hash value of the current block. Are you clear with this? If not, please do let me know. I'll explain you again. Are you all clear how a hash value is generated? Okay. So listen here. Any block will consist of a data, previous hash value, and its current hash value. This hash value is the hash value of this block. Let's imagine this is the block 1. This is the hash value of block 1. How this value is arrived? This value is technically arrived by, we will be feeding data. Data is hello world. In this example, this data, and in this example, this is the previous hash. This both will be given as an input to a hash generator. I'll explain you how this hash generator works. This hash generator will generate and give you hash value that is none other than this hash value. This is the data and this is the previous hash. These two will be fed as an input. These two will be processed and it will throw you a hash value that is the current hash value of this block 1. Are you clear now? Okay, clear? So I need not to repeat. Yeah, fine. I'll show you a real block. Don't worry. So this is how the hash generator works. I'll show you one more demo, small demo. See here, we'll see a demo. How we have calculated previous hash? Okay, to answer that, previous hash would have been calculated in the similar way. I'll explain you 1 minute. Okay. I'll explain you about Genesis block. Once I say that, you will understand that. Okay. So this you have to understand. Okay, I'll explain this and I'll show you the demo. See, any block, The first ever block created in the blockchain is known as the Genesis block. First ever block created in the blockchain. It's called as Genesis block. Colloquially, it is also called as mother block. So you can see here that Genesis block will not have any value. Previous hash value will be 0. Whereas if you have a block 2, automatically the block 1 hash value will be considered as a previous hash value, and data of block 2 will be stored here. Block 2 data, this is data of block 1. Whatever data is stored in block 1 will be taken here. Whatever data is stored in block 2 will be taken here. The previous hash value will refer to this block 1. Similarly, if I construct block 3, you can see here the previous hash value, that is block 2's hash value, will be considered as a previous hash value. So this 2 will be used to generate this value. Here, this 2 will be used to generate this value. Here, this 2 will be used to generate this value. Clear, madam? Now I'll show you a demo. Don't worry. The same concept I will show you as a demo. I'll post that chat also. You can also open this. I have given the link in the chat. Sorry. I'll also show the demo, but meanwhile, I'll show you some other demo. Okay, I'll open it here itself. Yes. Okay, are you able to see this? Able to see the slide? I mean, sorry, able to see the site? It will be, have you all logged in? Are you all able to see? Oh, great.
Yes, sir.
So what you can do is, you can also generate, you can add a new block. I say, thank you. I'm adding a data, something. See here. This is the Genesis block. As I mentioned, this is the Genesis block, right? And this is the previous hash value will be 0 because it does not have any previous block. So the current hash value of this is 00CF. I'm saying only first 2 and last 2. See here, the previous hash value will be 00CF. And if I create a new block, it will be taking the hash value of this. Are you all clear with this? You can also try. You can also try adding more blocks. Thank you, Karpagam. So I can hear. Welcome to the talk. I'm adding something. Some input you can add and you can see. Able to see? Okay, done. So this is a small demo where you can understand how the previous hash value is calculated to generate the new hash value. Okay, I'm coming back to my slides. So this is what blockchain is all about. SHA algorithms. What is SHA? We saw about generation of hash and how do we generate a SHA algorithm. See, this is what, whenever the specialty of this hashing algorithm is, what happens here is whenever I try to tamper, see, you all now understand. Now probably you will be able to understand how this hash value is linked. This is the previous hash value and this is the current hash. Now hash has a unique property. If you change any value of block, let's imagine the data is what was the data? Hello world. If I change this, if I remove this world, then what happened? I'm tampering the data. Whenever data is being tampered, the current hash value will get changed. When the current hash value of this block gets changed, what will happen? It will lose its connection with the next block because it has its old previous hash value. So it will not be able to identify the new hash value and this link will get broken. Okay, that is the specialty of this hashing or the specialty of this blockchain concept. Have I made you clear? Okay, done. So now we are going to see about SHA algorithm. I hope only I'll have time till explaining SHA. I'll finish it off. So SHA algorithm, what it is going to do is, it is a unique special algorithm, which is, I mean, some authors say that it is derived from the principal reference of human fingerprint. What is the specialty of a human fingerprint? Human fingerprint is unique.
So unique.
And they say the duplication, occurrence of duplication is very rare, and 1 among 60 million alone, there is a chance that it could be repeated. There are, I mean, we have not yet come across scientifically, but there is a probability. So we are trying to inherit this concept in a digitized way, where we are trying to create a random 64 characters, of hexadecimal value for any given input. That is the specialty of this SHA algorithm. SHA stands for Secured Hash Algorithm, and this was again introduced by National Security Agency of USA. This code is open, and if you want to use, you can download and you can use. It is open source. So the input, may the input be PDF, or my input is a song, or my input is a video file, some movie file. Everything will be converted into 64-bit hexadecimal value, random 64-bit hexadecimal value. And that is why we are going to use this SHA algorithm in the blockchain applications. Okay, you can see here, this is what I am talking about. Whenever you feed a data, SHA-256 converts that into 64-bit hexadecimal value. Any input. And see, input may be irrespective of its size. It converts them into fixed size. That is the specialty of this hash algorithm. It is not non-fixed. Okay, non-fixed input or variable input. It's a variable input. For any given variable input, SHA converts them into fixed output. Wherever you want these characteristics, you can use them. This is what I said, 1 among 60 million people, there is a less chance. There are 5 requirements of SHA algorithm. What are they? First one is one way. So it should be one way. From input, you may generate a 64-bit hexadecimal value. But from this 64-bit hexadecimal value, you should not be able to revert back and find out what will be the input. Similarly, for even our human fingerprint, when I have a fingerprint, the fingerprint is a witness of me. But from the fingerprint, you should not be able to deduce and find how will I look like, what is my color, what is my skin texture, and so on. That should not be possible. That is enabled by this SHA algorithm. So that is why we call them as a one way. I'll show you a demo, don't worry. Then second requirement is deterministic. You can see here doc and doc plus 1, even a slightest change. See, deterministic is whenever I give this doc, let's imagine I'm giving docs A as an input. It generates this output. Whenever again I give the docs A, it should generate the same output. It should not change its output. If it keeps on changing it, then it will be very hard for us to trace. So the output generated should be consistent. That output generated for the given input should be deterministic. That is what we are trying to say. If there is a slight variation, it will completely generate another input. I'll talk about this in the next point. Fast computation, it has to perform the conversion very fast, because you all know it is the blockchain is preferred for faster transactions. So in such scenario, hashing should not be a hindrance. It should also enhance the fastness nature or the fast nature of functioning of a blockchain. Avalanche effect. This is a very important concept. This is derived from the people who are hill climbers. The hill climbers, even if they keep a foot wrong, even if the foot wrong, there is a danger that they may fall from the height. Similarly, even for a small change in the input, the entire hash value generated will change. And finally, this is the fifth requirement. It should withstand collision. So before talking this, I'll show you a small demo because I'm running out of time. You can also, I'll also post the link in chat. You can also go and look into the chat. Yes. See here, I'll first show it. Anyhow, I have given the link. You can see it anytime. If possible, you can also log in. I mean, you can also paste it and see. The first point is one way. How a one way is generated. I'm going to say, good morning. Good morning. That's my input. You can see here, I have typed good morning. And the hash generated is CD and some blah blah and 78. So one way. By looking at this input, you should not be able to interpret what could be my input. I mean, looking at this hash value, you should not be able to imagine what could be my input. For a good morning, it will be 64-bit hash value. For my entire research paper, if I feed as an input, it will generate only 64-bit hash value. For a complete movie file, it will generate only 64-bit hash value. So you will not be able to find out, you will not be able to distinguish what could have been my input. That is one way. Now, second one is deterministic. Whenever I feed this input, you remember CD and 78. Okay, I'm typing the C. Whenever I give the same input, see, I'm removing it. Once I remove that, the hash value has completely changed. Okay, now I'm pasting it. It should generate the same hash value, CD and 78. Okay, the fast computation, you all know, it is immediately doing it. It is only a demo, but in real time also it will happen very fast. Now, avalanche effect. I'm going to add a full stop here. See here, one, I have not done any change. I have added mere a full stop. For a mere full stop, the entire hash value has got changed. Right? You are able to see this, right? So this is what I was talking about, avalanche effect. Okay, I'll come back. So the last point, fifth requirement is it should withstand collisions. What is collision is, we all know for a given input, it generates a unique random output, hash value. But what happens if there arises a situation for the single given input for two input 1 and input 2. For both this input, if the hash value generated is same. For dog and dog plus, imagine dogs plus, for both this, if it generates the same output, how can we handle this? This is what withstand collision. So the solution for that is pigeon hole principle. Pigeon hole principle is a damn old mathematical concept, which very simply says there are 9 holes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9. If 9 pigeon comes, we can very well accommodate. If the 10th pigeon comes, we cannot say no, we have to accommodate that pigeon in existing pigeon holes. But for your information, at least with respect to Bitcoin-based blockchain is running from 2009 onwards. Till now, they have not encountered this situation of withstanding collisions. Okay, so I think 11:23. I'll stop here and I'll show only my slides. I have many topics to be discussed. So I'll just show you the slides. So this is distributed ledger concept.
Sir, it's not visible, sir. Bhalaji, sir.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute. Okay. So other things, I'll share the slide. Don't worry, I'll share the complete slide to the organizers. The distributed ledger is further classified into 3 types: public, private, and consortium. And I have given what is public, what is private, and what is consortium. And immutable ledger. This is very, very important concept of a blockchain technology. We say that, I mean, the question was, how can we install a trust among different entities? There are a lot of use cases. Sorry, I'm not able to say all this story. When I mean, we can implement this use case in real estate registrations. If someone tries to tamper my document, how can we save it? If we store it in a blockchain based system, still there is a chance that someone can still tamper it, because only thing, if they tamper my document, what will happen? The hash value get changed, and if they are able to hire people and if they rehash all those things, then still they will be able to tamper my document. So that's why we introduced this distributed P2P network, where the copy of this entire registered document will be available in different locations. What is the advantage, sir? When it is being stored in different locations, the same copy is retained in different location. If the same attacker wants to tamper the document, if he tampers it, what will happen is there is a concept called auto correction or updation, where the other nodes, these nodes understands that some attack has gone here, and they know that the data is being tampered. They will copy their own copy, and they will replace that own right version here in the attacked place. So no attacker can as such come in and tamper and go off. Okay, what is the possibility for the attacker to still succeed? If he wants to attack, for example, in a Bitcoin based network, if he really wants to tamper a data, then only chance is he needs to change the block within 10 minutes. And not only within 10 minutes, he needs to change it at least more than 51% of the nodes who are participating. In this example, 6 nodes are there, and please understand, all 6 nodes will not be lying in the same place. They are lying in different geographical location. For example, Canada, India, Mexico, and so on. So anybody cannot literally go to all locations and change everything within 10 minutes. This is completely impossible. That's why we call this is a tamper proof. And answer to the question, how can we install trust among different entities? By introducing distributed peer-to-peer nature and this autocorrect option, we will be able to install trust among the different entities. Why should we have a consensus? Since different players are participating, we need to arrive at consensus. 2 types of consensus: voting based and lottery based. Examples are 2 general problem and Byzantine problem. These are all basic from where the consensus were arrived, and these are all some challenges. You can also refer the comments. Comment section, I would have written some notes. These are all limitations. These are all 2 different algorithms: proof of work and proof of stake. These are all variants of proof of stake. And this is the blockchain structure. Why should we have a different type of blockchain? 3 types of blockchain: public, private, and consortium. These are all some examples. A consortium is Ripple and R3 Coda, and this is the framework and software. These are all the frameworks. This talks about framework. These are all the software. You can use any language to develop a blockchain. These are all the places where they are being used. Challenges: security, privacy, scalability, and consensus algorithm. These are all some startups, sorry, not only startups, some companies. Real world blockchain use cases. You can see manufacturing, retail, social network, government. These are all the enterprises which are already implementing blockchain. You can see Google, Facebook, Apple, Walmart. Government: Dubai, Estonia, South Korea, Gaucoin. In India, I mean Rajasthan, government of Rajasthan is using blockchain for EHR, electronic health record. Government of Andhra Pradesh used for registration. And
Tamil Nadu also using, sir.
Yeah, I'll show it. Blockchain decision path. This is the blockchain decision path what you can use. And in Tamil Nadu, it is called as Nambika Inayam. And there was recently, I am a member of this Nambika Inayam. I am a core member of this blockchain backbone network. We recently released a blockchain framework document where, I mean, we all have contributed. Academic wise, 3 institutions are participating: IIT, Anna University, and SSN. From SSN, I am a member, core member. So we used to attend meeting in the TNEGA office once in a month. Due to Corona, we were not able to meet completely. We have a Zoom meeting. So what we are working here is we we have already done that. Almost half of it is done. Soon the government will release a common blockchain framework which could be used by government agencies as well as the private players. So this project name is Nambike Inayam. Okay, particularly saying Ishan Rai is the coordinator and academician, not only academic. Lot of almost 15 plus startups and companies are also involved in this. So we all come together and we come up with a lot of ideas. And these are all the steps. And any questions? I'm done with.
Sir, I got one question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Balaji, sir, you saying that no, the Walmart and other companies tracking and tracing that, you know,
Yes.
so which is good for, sir, whether RFID or NFC or any which in the tracking?
See, you are asking a different question from blockchain. You are talking about the core, how we track. See, tracking could be done by, see, it depends on the product also, sir. For example, if it is a pharmaceutical product, then it is easy for you to rely on RFID or some other M marking. Nowadays, pharmaceutical products themselves comes with some RFID or QR codes. Even you can think of using QR codes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So which one is better, sir? RFID or NFC?
No, I can't say NFC or RFID because it depends on the nature of application. For example, if you are planning to use it for logistics tracking, then RFID may be costly. You can use, see, there are two ways. One, I'll say a classical use case in blockchain. The one is diamond tracking is a very classical use case in a blockchain application. Okay. So how will you track diamond? Diamonds could be tracked by using RFID because we can afford to. Am I right?
Am I right?
I'll say you a very common application. The other place where we can track is, we have a typical application. There is a statistics which says 2 lakh liters of blood is being wasted in India every day. You won't believe this statistics. The major reason is we don't maintain the required temperature in the freezers where the blood is stored, or we don't maintain the temperature in the due course of transportation. This could be very easily solved by using a simple sensor, temperature sensor. Am I right, sir?
Right, sir.
Yeah. So that is why I say I can't answer which is better or which is not. You have to look into the application. Affordability is important. See, NFC is very commonly used in. See, now NFC is being incorporated in tracking your suitcases in Dubai and Singapore airport. Okay, they can afford it. But Indian context, it may take some time, but still we are improving.
Sir, I have a question, Ashraf here.
Yes. Yeah, please.
So, is there any use case which you could refer? I understand you are short of time. Is there any use case that you can refer to me where blockchain has been used in the apparel industry, in the fashion retail business?
Fashion retail business, I'm not aware of actually. But what you can do is, see, one thing I can say, you can, it may not be directly relevant. What you can do is, you can copyright your design in apparel industry by using blockchain.
No, sir, I'm not talking about design. I'm talking about sustainability perspective.
You are talking about sustainability perspective.
Circular, as in we are not putting the end garment in the landfill. We are just doing a reverse logistics and bring it back, reusing the product to produce a new product.
See, if I want to answer you again, see, I have to go back. See, the provenance use case is the first ever use case which was used in the blockchain industry with respect to supply chain management. Okay, you can go and check provenance use case. Basically, what does it does? Again, I have to repeat the same points, like you can track your goods in case if there is a time constraint involved. Okay, if you want to track it, then you have to track it by using, see, again, blockchain is not an independent technology. That is what I highlighted in the beginning of my lecture itself. When you want to use blockchain, you have to integrate it with other technologies. As rightly now he asked me, like, what are the ways in which we can track? We have to either track it through RFID, QR mark, watermark, or sensors. Somehow you have to attach a tracking mechanism to your goods. And if it is a time constraint one, then you will be able to track, or you will be able to know where your good is lying right now. So that tracking can be done by using blockchain. And again, I repeat, If there is a pure necessity for using blockchain, you think of it. Otherwise, you need not to. Have I answered your question?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Someone was asking how can we use it in academia? Yeah. One minute, sir. I'll finish this answer. How can you use it in academia? I'll say a simple use case. Certificates are now government of, I missed this. Government of Maharashtra has already initiated the plan for storing all their 10th and plus 2 certificates in the fashion of blockchain. So what will happen is, whenever a candidate is applying for a counseling or for a higher studies, he need not to bring his physical certificate. He will be giving only his key. By looking into his key, they will go and check whether this key is who is the owner of that key. It will reveal the basic information. From that, they will be able to authenticate and they will be able to approve his application. Clear? So this also preserves your privacy. For example, if imagine I'm a student, I'm applying for higher studies. They need not to know my certificate will carry my photo, it will carry my date of birth, it will carry in which school I studied. All such things can be removed by using blockchain technology. Yeah, sorry, sir. Someone was trying to ask a question. Yeah. Yeah, can you come again?
Balaji, sir, send your personal details, sir. I mean, mail ID and other things.
Okay, I'll send you. Not a problem.
Yeah.
And other thing, what you can do is, see, I proposed and I work on this. What I'm doing right now in my colleges, I'm using the Bitcoin concept in choosing the best outgoing student. How can you leverage this? I'm introducing, see, the Bitcoins or the cryptocurrency, the highlighting usage of cryptocurrency is they are transparent. You can, whatever you do there, it is completely transparent. So what we are trying to do now is, if someone, imagine that a college will award a best faculty or a best outgoing student. How can you do this by leveraging blockchain is, you can give the form, you can make it open, everybody can fill the form, everybody can claim that, for example, some sports student is there, he will claim that he has participated in a national level event. That should be verified by the physical education director. If someone claims that he has published a paper in a IEEE conference, then the Dean Research should endorse that. So like that, everyone will come to know what the other person is claiming. So it will be completely transparent. On a day of closing, whoever has secured more mark, he will be declared as a winner. There is no hidden agenda. Can you understand? Very simple application, how you can use blockchain in an academic scenario. Very simple application you can think of. This you can extend to any extent. Wherever you want transparency, you can think of using this concept. And again, my sincere request, I'm not showing that slides. I have a separate slides for cryptocurrency and smart contract. But cryptocurrency, please keep one thing in mind. I look at it only in the academic perspective. I am not a trader. And I don't recommend any one of you to trade into it. It's not reliable. Please don't do that. But what you can do is, you can leverage the concepts of Bitcoin and you can use it in your normal application projects. We did one more project where we tried to use blockchain concept for estimating the insurance amount for farmers when they are encountering flood situation and so on. The flood situation, we can get the data from outsiders also. The government agencies will give you what amount of rainfall has occurred, what could be the impact. That can be matched by the insurance company and they can see whether the claim what farmer is raising is genuine or not. That could be easily verified by using blockchain technology. We can develop, see the examples what I'm listing now can be done. See, keep one thing in mind, madam, cryptocurrency is only one aspect of blockchain. The smart contract is the wonderful concept of blockchain where you will see the nuances of embedded system. For example, I'll say you a very small use case. Let's imagine driverless car. How can we use blockchain in driverless car? You can create a smart contract. You can make that program to run in the driverless car where whenever it goes to the petrol station, whenever it goes to the fuel filling station, automatically door can open. So the person can fill the petrol and automatically once it's done, the door can get closed. This can be done by using a smart contract. So that is what a smart contract is all about. Whenever you want to develop a smart contract, you have to learn a new concept called token that you will learn later. So only cryptocurrency is not there. And don't worry about even developing or writing a program. Whenever you try to store the data, let's imagine you are a researcher in AI or ML. Whenever you are dealing with a data set, if you are able to store the data in the hashed manner, still it is application of a blockchain. Leave out coding. Okay. So in that way, you can use a blockchain.
Okay, thank you, Balaji. Thank you, Balaji, for your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Prakash.
And the presentation is very useful and it's very informative.
Yeah, thank
you. On behalf of Karpagam College of Engineering, I would like to thank you. And we will be having a session with Dr. Balaji on day 5. So again, this session, it will be more informative.
Yeah, thank you. I'll continue. I'll say the topics what I left today. I hope I'll share the slides with the organizers. You can get it from them. And if meanwhile, if you have any doubts, you can always talk to me. Not a problem. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prakash. It's very. I'm really happy for 2 reasons that I was able to see you. And second thing, I thank HOD Karpagam College of Engineering for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And my many thanks to participants. You are all not because you attended this program, because you are all participative. That's the major. That's really gives me boost for this presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Balaji. And participants in chat window, just I posted the attendance. Try to fill the attendance for the session 1, and we will back by 10:50. That is session 2. It starts by 10:50 a.m.
11:50.
Sorry, 11:50 a.m.
Thank you.
So all the participants, you can go for the break.
So where is the attendance? I don't see it on the chat right
So
now.
in chat box, one URL link is there, sir.
Okay.
No
are you
issues.
posting it or have you posted it already?
Already posted. Just now also I posted. You can take it.